right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone can hear me. Hold up a second. Let me go and check, of course. Make sure I'm live. That's number one. And make sure the mic's still working. That's number two. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday morning. I know it's super early. Don't mind the noise, y'all. There's just a lot going on. Okay, here we go. Yes, second. Okay, yeah, the mic is good. Okay. I should have been using my laptop mic. I don't know why I subjected myself. Well, I mean, this mic is pretty good. This is a Sony mic. So, it's still pretty good. But the MacBook one is better. I don't know why. Maybe for live streaming. I think when I record on my Mac, maybe it's the input, like because I have to connect it. So maybe that's why that extra step kind of plays with the mic a little bit. All right, let me see who's going to come to this stream. Melody said hi. Hi, Melody. Hi, sis. How are you? I hope your Saturday is going well. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I'm early today, y'all. I had to be early because I have plans today. I know. It's very rare. Actually, to be honest with you, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm the one who's the problem. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very self-aware. Listen, my social battery can only go so high. So to be perfectly honest, I've been dodging so many people. Not dodging, okay, I don't want to use dodging. But I be, when people want to go out with me and stuff like that, or friends, stuff, those type of things, I'll be like, oh no, next time, no, I can't. And I have my reasons. But yeah, like, this is a really good friend of ours, like Dom and I, and we haven't met. Well, I've met with him and his wife like a few times, but Dom, he's been dodging. He's not been dodging. He's hard too. He has a social battery limit too. So we're finally gonna get to see our friends, which I'm really excited about. So that's why I hopped on stream earlier, because I gotta meet up with them this afternoon. But I'm gonna spend a few hours with y'all because I love streaming. So at least I could do that in the morning and then go see my friends in the afternoon, or our friends, I should say. Yeah. So you said your Saturday is great. I'm happy to hear that. It's raining here. I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but hopefully it ain't raining. All right. Hi everyone else, in case everyone else is joining. Yeah, today's live stream is early. Tomorrow will be like in the afternoon because I have another friend I have to meet up with. I'm telling y'all, man, why social battery is gonna be depleted this week. This weekend, my social battery finna be depleted. Monday, I'm gonna be comatose. I'll say that. At the Dev Studio, hey sis. Good morning. Oh yeah, that's true. You are on West Coast time as me. Yeah, so it's really early for us on the West Coast, but I know for y'all East Coasters, this is perfect timing. Yeah, so social battery finna be lit this weekend. Yeah, we'll see. But anyways, I'm really happy everyone's having a great morning. In case, just gotta let you guys know, these are my overnight oats. So in case you see me eating this, I'm not hungry yet. Usually I eat like around 10. So I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. But yeah, I might eat during the stream because it's cutting into my breakfast time. Usually I'm on stream before breakfast, after breakfast. But I'm on stream today before breakfast. All right, I'm not going to yap too much because I got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about. A lot. I don't even know where to start, y'all. I really don't. I don't know if I should start with the relationship stuff first or the, you know what? Let's start with the AI stuff first. So we're going to start with what's currently going on. Current events. Okay. So there's been a lot going on, to be quite honest with you. I try to keep my streams not on the, like, oh no, I how can I say this? I don't like to fearmonger is what I'm trying to say, right? So I feel like this, like, we're all gonna be living this experience together. We all are part of this world. So we understand and we see what's going on. Nobody's blind to what's happening. Now, the thing though is, hi Marie James, how are you, sis? I hope you're having a great Saturday. Yeah, so we're not blind. I'm not blind. I've been seeing everything going on. I like to wait a little bit to say something. And I've been watching something that's been very different. Very different. Not different. Okay, how can I say this? It's not different for me because I've been through this experience before. I can see the patterns and the bubble's about to burst, y'all. So that's why I titled this live stream The Age of what did I title? The Age of Empty Hype. And then the thumbnail says the bubble for a reason. There's a bubble, y'all, going on. And I know a lot of people have been like hyping up AI, and I love AI. Don't get me wrong. I use AI for like a lot of things, actually. It makes my life easier, more efficient. AI is not inherently the issue itself. It's the way the technology is being bought in. I think that is what the issue is. And I've noticed something, especially like when it comes to planning, and risk assessment. There's no planning, y'all. A lot of things, people don't really think about it too deeply. They just go and do it. And of course, money is involved. So, people like a lot of millionaires, billionaires, whatever, they have invested into this, like, this form of technology. The problem we have, though, is that whenever something is being invested in really heavily, you have to start questioning what's going on. And when I will say this, when I started to really see a few things, I was like, oh yeah. Oh, they getting ready to pack us up out of here, y'all. They getting ready to pack us up out of here. And I don't mean physically. I'm just talking about just like with everything going on. Okay, so for example, like, again, I don't want to bring up too many negative things because I understand like some of you are living in it right now. So I don't want to trigger anyone. So trigger warning, by the way. But hey sis, how are you, Devonda? Hey sis. Yeah, I'm early. I'm early, the star that fell, L, aka L. But I'm early because I got something to do today. I have plans. We got plans at 1. I have to meet up with a friend and okay. So how can I explain this? So when I first moved to BC, I worked with an executive director. We worked very closely together. He's like literally a dad to me, like a second dad. Like they're like our surrogate parents in BC. So we got super close, and then I like hung out with him and his wife like all the we've kept our friendship for like forever, or not forever. What am I saying? For like I would say the last 2 years, and he retired, and so we keep up. We're like his like grandkids, which is really, really, or kids. I would say kids because he's like my parent, like almost my parents' age. So we're like their kids here because they don't have children. And yeah, it's been really, really nice. Like they always take care of us, always asking about us. Like we go see them, they see us. And so yeah, we got to keep that friendship going. And yeah, we were supposed to meet up with them a few times, and we kept canceling. AKA Dom kept canceling. Y'all know Dom. Dom is now getting into his social butterfly era. So yeah, we're gonna meet up with them. So that's why I'm early. Little quick explanation. Good to see you, Ganja girl. Good to see you. All right, so yeah, like I was saying, the bubble. Okay, because the reason why I'm just talking straight up about the stories now is because I don't have much time. I know I talk a lot, so. This is water, y'all. You know what? We just gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that there. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about AI. And the star that fell, you can probably please give us some insight, because I know you're in tech. So there's a lot going on without saying too much. Now, when you add that into a weakened economy, a lot of our governments are in debt. Also, things are changing, and that's undeniable, y'all. No matter what you think or how you think about it or what you believe, things are changing. That's undeniable. And so this segment of the live stream, so I'm just going to talk about it not too long. We'll do the AI segment, and then we'll hop into the relationship bubble. So we're going to have the AI bubble and the relationship bubble. That's a whole nother bubble. So that's just my theory, though. I like to do theories and stuff like that. So then what I want to say, though, is be prepared. That's it. Like I said, I don't want to fearmonger. I want to prepare. So in my preparation, or in my quest to prepare, I want to just kind of help you guys prepare too. So from now on going forward, my streams will continue to center around, relationships, hot topics, entertainment, pop culture, whatever. But I'm also going to add some videos that are going to help you prepare for what's to come, because y'all, it's coming. It don't, like, listen, it's going to come. I done been through a lot of recessions to know that it's coming, y'all. It's coming. It's coming. And COVID kind of prepared us a little bit, but I think like this time it's really going to hit, because the fact that I'm still on strike, y'all, just imagine. I've been on strike for like 2 months, almost 2 months. No. I got to remember the dates. When you're on strike, you don't remember no dates. Y'all, I'm still on strike. Yeah. Yep. That's all I'm going to say. I'm still on strike. This is unheard of. Especially where I live, right? In the province, this is the longest strike in my province's history. And it's not just us on strike. We have other unions on strike. And yeah, they're dragging their feet. And I'm not talking about the union. I'm talking about our employer, right? Now, I started to realize a lot of things. And I'm like, yeah, definitely. There's something going on. There's something going on with our government. With an S. And being that the U.S. is also having a shutdown, I'm not surprised by that. People are going to lose their SNAP benefits soon. I'm not surprised by that. And to be honest with you, I know some people are thinking like, oh, yeah, like they'll probably resolve everything by November 1st. I don't know. Because I thought they were going to resolve my strike by we thought literally when it started early September. We've been on strike. Like our whole ministry has been not the entire ministry, but our ministry. The start of the strike was beginning of September. We thought it would have been resolved by now. Y'all, we almost November. No end in sight, y'all. They're in mediation. So this is what I'm talking about. It's like while they're trying to work things out and figure things out, you have to be prepared. Because if you're not prepared, you don't know what's going to come up after that. Once the dust clears, you don't know what's going to happen after that. So that's why I'm trying to say it in so many ways. Just prepare yourself. You may not be affected, and if you aren't, that would be amazing. But people around you might be. And when people don't prepare, that's when you get the panic, the chaos, the anxiety, the fear. And then also, you have to keep yourself from being sucked into that type of environment. So, just wanted to start with that before we get to the AI bubble. You said, that's cute. I'm glad you have a surrogate parents in BC. Yeah, we do. They really care about us, yo. They're taking care of us. And, he used to work with me, so he knows we're on strike. He was one of the first ones to hit me up, yo, are you okay? What's going on? Yeah, he be knowing. He knows. And also his wife is super sweet. I love her. Just like our parents. They take care of us really well. So, yeah. Davanda, you said in my state, AI is bad for the environment. It's causing power outages and water turning brown in people's homes. Yep. AI uses a lot of water and electricity. So the energy has to come from somewhere. And this is why people don't realize it, right? It takes a lot of power, energy, and resources. Think about this. You're spending that much, those resources on technology, and there are people who are being affected by it every day, right? And especially when you don't, if you're not in the tax bracket of the people who can, get, access to clean water or better living conditions, you know what I'm talking about, not even middle class anymore, more of the wealthier class, that you might get affected or might be affected by it, right? I mean, there's so many things, even though it has been good in a way because it does streamline our work, I'm not going to lie, but then when you think of the effects, then you start to really question things and the investment into it. So let's get into the video I want to watch, y'all, because time. Well, we gonna watch this after. Skip these men. Skip this right now. We gonna skip this right now. Okay, so oh, that's not the video I wanted to watch. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, let me go get my link. Give me one moment, y'all. Give me one moment. I gotta get the link that I wanted to watch. Here we go. I think it's this one. There we go. I want to watch this video first. Let me pull it up. Just give me 1 second. Rosa, you said same for cloud storage. It takes resources from small cities. I didn't even know that. See? There we go. So it's like people don't like everything is tied to the earth. This is craziness, y'all. Everything is tied to resources. Everything is always going to go back to resources and how much resources or how much does it take. And this is why I said things weren't properly planned for, because when you look at how money's being spent, tax money or taxpayer dollars, when you look at when other people are responsible to take care of you, because remember, like, we have our systems in place so that they can protect us. But what happens when people are blinded? Because we're all humans, right? So some people, they get blinded by power, greed. They get blinded by, fake support. There are a lot of these type of parasocial, you can never do wrong relationships, the accolades. It all gets to you. And so this is where human behavior has to be taken into account, because I don't think for a second that people are thinking of the best interest of the people who are being affected by this. They are just trying to get the bag. Let's just be honest. Because I'm on strike right now. You really think that my employer is thinking about my health? Because it was raining like a lot yesterday. Like it was storm, like there was a windstorm. It rained the whole entire day and it's cold. There were people picketing outside yesterday. Thankfully I didn't, because I have other options, like as far as like how to make my money. But some people, they solely rely on the strike pay. You have to show up to get your strike pay every week. And trust and believe me, y'all, that strike pay, it's just enough for you to survive. But even then, you can't even survive off of that. Some people's rents are way more than the strike pay they make for the month. So when you think about people standing outside in the cold, they're also braving the weather elements. Hypothermia might come into play. One day it was so cold I had to keep walking in and out of because I picket near a mall, so I had to keep walking in and out of the mall because it was so cold outside. People are braving the elements to strike just to get paid. But then, do you think they care about that? No. They don't. Because if they did, we would have resolved it already. And this is what I want to make and stress out to you, being that I'm also experiencing it. So I have definitely more of I started to wake up to it, because I was like, man, imagine you're putting your faith in people to protect you, but they're not. What they're doing is just doing what they normally do. Let's just keep it real. And this is why when you see systems collapsing, or technology kind of having this people are heavily investing into technology or heavily investing into other things, who does it benefit the most? You already know who it does, right? Because it's not us. We benefit from it to a certain extent, but when you really think about it, overall, when you look at for example, I always use the healthcare system as one of the determinants of how you can see how if a country is successful. Because if people can't even have access to quality food, access to quality healthcare, you got a problem on your hands. Where are the resources going? That's what we got to think about. And where are they being allocated? Because it's not for your best interest. Let's just put it that way, right? So anyway, point is that there's always going to be a catalyst in all of this. So I just want to make it very clear that we have to start preparing. That's my point of saying this spiel right now. We need to start preparing, because whatever is to come, you want to make sure that you are in the best condition to weather the storm, whether it be mentally, whether it be emotionally, physically, financially. You have to start thinking of different ways of how you can manage and start getting your risk assessment plans started today. You're already late, but start as soon as you can, because if you want to overcome this, and you want to have the best case scenario, because eventually it'll go back to where it was. This is how phases go, cycles go, right? There'll be a bad time, a time of just economic disparity. There's going to be a time of just uncertainty, or a time of a depression, recession, whatever you want to call it. And then it'll last for it lasts a while, usually 10 years, it's going to be a long time, y'all. It's going to be a bit of time. And ours started since COVID, but maybe we didn't really notice it. But since 2020, it's been like that, right? We're already 2025, so already 5 years in. It's going to get worse incrementally. It's already getting worse, right? Globally. It's not just here in North America. It's everywhere. So it'll probably last like another, I think cycles usually last like 10, hopefully not 15 years. Hold on. How long did the Great Depression last? Let's go check that before I watch the video. And then I'm going to read a few comments before we start watching. The Great Depression. How long did that last? Because that was the last big one. 1929 to 1939. Yep, 10 years. Okay. 10 years. So if we want to include the COVID era, which was like a pseudo, so that's 5 years. We've been 5 years fresh out. But then if we're starting like now, we ain't in 2035. So you got 10 years to plan for. Start planning as soon as possible. ASAP. And even if it's a mini one, even if it's a large scale one, doesn't matter. You got to prepare. Start preparing, man. Don't live like I've noticed a lot of people want to ignore the problem. They'll be like, oh, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. And I get that. But there has to be a time where you sit down and you're like, okay, I really need to start assessing my risks. I have to really start like planning things. I got to start thinking like, okay, if I get laid off, how much money do I have in emergency fund? Number one. Number two, do I have access to the social assistance system? And if you're in the U.S., I feel bad for you. They're about to cut SNAP off. Cut it right off. That's unheard of, y'all. They don't even want to use the contingency fund. They're basically saying we're going to let them people starve. That is what is being said. Whether or not it happens, it's irrelevant. It is being said right now. Hold up. Let me pull it up. I'm going to pull this right up. SNAP. All I got to put is SNAP benefits, y'all. Or food stamps. I'm going to put food stamps. Because here we go. Food stamps. Here. They're not going to use contingency funds, y'all. USDA says it can't use contingency fund for food stamps. Why can't they? That's a problem. That's an issue. Here. The Agriculture Department said Friday it can't use a special reserve fund to pay food stamp benefits during the partial government shutdown because the money is meant to be used when appropriations fall short, not when the funding doesn't exist. In a memo released amid Democratic lawmakers' pressure to get USDA to tap the fund, the department reiterated that it would not pay November benefits for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, better known as food stamps. It also told states that they wouldn't be reimbursed if they pay the benefits. SNAP contingency funds are only available to supplement regular monthly benefits when amounts have been appropriated for, but are insufficient to cover benefits. The contingency fund is not available to support fiscal year 2026 regular benefits because the appropriation for regular benefits no longer exist. All right. The memo also appears to contradict the department shutdown plan released in late September. Hold on a second. Why this ad came up? Hold on. Let me put this smaller, y'all. I just realized I don't have my face showing. Sorry, y'all. It's still morning time. Okay, here we go. And get these ads on my face. Okay. Let's keep reading. Hold on. Why is it like this? You can't really see it. I don't know why it's showing up like this, y'all. Hold on. Maybe I'll just make it longer here because it's a long article. Okay. You'll have to read it like this. Or I'll read it for y'all. How about that? I'll read it for y'all because I want to be able to see it. Okay. So the memo also appears to contradict the department shutdown plan released in late September when it referred to the contingency fund as part of its SNAP plan. The partial government shutdown began with the new fiscal year on October 1st. Senate Democrats have rejected a continuing resolution passed by the House that would fund the government until November 21st. So this is what's going on right now. This is Texas Hold'em. Texas Hold'em. That's exactly what's happening in my union right now. Texas Hold'em. We only have 2.5%. So this is where we're at right now. I'm going to let y'all know. And I don't care. I don't give a damn anymore. Hell, they could do whatever they want because I know some people like, well, you got to be careful with your social media. I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. I told you I was a villain last week. I don't care anymore. I don't give a damn. Because this is more important for me to share with you guys than to care about, oh, what is it going to do to me? I don't give a damn at this point in time. I really don't. Because as much as there are people who would want to do something to me or threaten me, there are also people who would protect me. And I can protect myself. And Dawn can protect me. Or we can protect ourselves. We're good. Don't worry about it. We ain't got to worry about that. But not only that, but it's like, you got to get your power back. Like, we have to stop being scared to speak out. Because at this point in time, it's urgent. This is the same thing that's going on with us. We can only give you 2.5%. We can't give you guys a contingency fund. We can't pay you more. That's what's happening. They're basically saying, but that situation is worse. Ours is about pay increase. This is about people dying. Dying. How long can you go without food, y'all? Let's look that up. How long can people go without food? How long can a human survive without food? Let's get to it. And why does this thing look like this? Hold on. I don't know why my screen looks like this. I hope you guys can see the screen properly. Hold up. Let me go check my phone. I gotta make sure you guys can see the screen properly. Hold a second. Hold on a second, y'all. Okay, you guys can see it properly. Good. It's just showing up weird on my end. How long can a human survive without food? I think it's like without water, it's like 3 days or something. And I think for without food, it's like a week. I don't remember, y'all. Without food or water. Here. So people can survive up to 3 weeks after they stop eating. Okay, that's what it says here. We just gonna go by what the first one is because I can't search. I don't have time to search everything else. People can live up to 3 weeks without food, but only 3 to 5 days without water. Now, imagine if your water is being messed up by the AI systems. Remember what we just talked about a little bit, prior in the stream, when one of my sisters here wrote about the AI, how it's affecting the electricity and the water. So where you gonna go get your water then? You gotta buy it. How you gonna buy it with no money? Red flag. How the hell are you going to buy it? How? Now, you can have a distiller or, those Brita filters, but if your water is dirty, good luck. Good luck. And also, y'all know those filters, they don't last that long. I mean, they last for like probably a month or so. You got to replace it. How you going to filter your water? We have to learn those skills, y'all. We got to start being farmers. I know some of you have already started. I started over the summer. I tried. It didn't work out for me. But now I'm getting back in my farmer bag. We have to start being useful, y'all. We have to start knowing these things because this is what our ancestors knew how to do. They knew how to do this. And somehow we've gotten so comfortable with other people doing it for us. But now we're like in the era of dependency. The videos I'm watching are very sad. I know some people are laughing, oh, you're going to lose your benefits. And I'm like, what is so funny about somebody losing their access to food? How is this funny? It's scary. Because if they start losing their access to food, best believe you are going to as well. You don't think so? Public servant right here. Public servant. Got us out in the rain. Some people can't even afford to pay their mortgages. Can't afford to pay their rent because this whole situation is still going on. Some people have to take second jobs, third jobs. Some people are running through savings. Some people have kids. Humans. Why are we laughing? What's so funny? I don't get it. People are weird. Let's continue. Oh, I'm gonna read a few comments, y'all, because y'all cooking in the comments. Marie, you said, unfortunately, I think stealing and other crimes might increase because of SNAP being cut off. That's exactly where I'm going to go with this. Y'all, you got to start protecting yourselves. If you're in the U.S., I've always been an advocate of is it the First Amendment? Whichever amendment it is, y'all. The reason why is I'm not necessarily a person who likes that. To be honest with you, I wish that you guys had pew pew control. I don't like to promote it, but hell, you have to protect yourself, because now you're in the, it's like they're throwing you in the deep end, off the deep end, and they're expecting you to survive and swim. So you're gonna have to get into your survival bag. Stop being nice, y'all. Stop it. I just had a conversation with one of my friends, and I told her, I was like, look, because she's Korean, right? So she lives in the States now. She's been in the States for like 4 years. She's born in the States, actually, but she, how you're born in one country and then you were raised in another country, back and forth and whatever. But point is that I told her to stop being nice. Stop being so nice. You got to stop being nice, y'all. I understand if you grew up in a religious household, and this is something that I have noticed, is that we have a lot of people-pleasing tendencies, always want to forgive people. And I'm not saying that's a bad trait, but you need to reserve it for the people who deserve it. Stop being so kind. Stop giving people the benefit of the doubt, because they will take you out with the quickness, and they don't care about it. Look at what happened to Kata Scott, the young, beautiful young lady, unalived by a monster. This is happening every day. Innocent people are getting unalived for no reason. People will take from you. They will steal from you. They don't care if you're Christian or not, if you're nice or not. They don't give a damn. They want what you have, and they're going to take it. Stop being so nice. Start protecting yourselves. Learn how to do martial arts. I don't know what you're going to have to do, but you're going to have to be like, maybe rewatch movies like, what's that movie where they did that, oh my God, the one where people could commit crimes all for one day of the year. I forgot what it's called. There was one movie like that a few years ago with Ethan Hawke. Let me find that movie. What was it called? You're going to have to watch those survivalist movies. I don't know what to tell you. The Day After Tomorrow. I don't know. Watch something. Get inspired by that, because it's not going to be cute. Ethan Hawke. What's that movie called? He was in the first movie. Hold on, I'm gonna find it for y'all. It was a movie where there's crime for one day and then people went crazy. The Purge. Thank you. The Purge. Y'all gonna have to watch The Purge or something. Get inspired. Watch a zombie movie. iRobot. I don't know what to tell you. But you gotta have to start to be a little bit more I'm not saying, okay, I'm going to try to be very clear with my words. You're going to have to be a little tougher. Be tough. Stop being so kind. Stop being so accommodating. Please. It's not the time for this. It's not the time. It's not the time. Okay? It's not the time. People are unhinged. Unhinged. They will take what you have. Best believe me. Purge. Thank you. The Purge. Yeah, you guys said it. The standoff won't last, Melody Smith said. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like I said, my government has been standing off with my union since September. We are almost November, y'all. There have been people who've been in the strike since September. Imagine. They were there from the beginning. I started 3 weeks after, 3 or 4, almost a month after. People have been in the trenches. That's the thing. Don't underestimate what people can do and how far they can go. That's what I will say. Don't underestimate, because we thought it was going to be resolved. We're like, this ain't never happened before. Usually, whenever the union says, hey, we're gonna go into strike action, our employers usually like, hey, okay, we don't want this to happen, let's resolve this. This has never happened, y'all. Government's been in existence since when? This is the first time. Second time, actually, because there was a strike in I think the last strike like this was like 1994, if I'm not mistaken, or 1984, one of them. But this is the longest one. The standoff is still standoff. We've been standing off for 2 months. We thought it would never get to this point. Never. We've never seen it before. There are people who are literally scared to lose their homes. They didn't know it was going to get this far. Got to call the mortgage company and be like, hey, we're going to have to be delinquent on our payments for a bit. We ain't got nothing going on right now. We got kids. We got to start prioritizing things. Don't underestimate Do not underestimate. Please get yourself prepared. Now, if things work out, that's going to be great, because then at least you can use your preparation skills for another time when you need it, because it will happen eventually. But for now, don't underestimate situations, because we were highly I'm telling you, I didn't think it would last this long either. I'm being honest with you. No one did. No one at all. No end in sight, just letting y'all know. Yeah. So someone wrote, we are ready though, we're tired, Romy. Yeah, I'm up early. Hey Sasha, how are you? Yeah, I gotta leave, like, what time? 12? I think I gotta leave at 12 my time, so 3 more hours. Hey Francis Emmanuel, how are you, sis? I know I usually go in the afternoon. That's probably why you miss my lives. Black people deserve a soft life too. I know. You know what? This is a thing. You can still live a soft life but still prepare. No, you don't have to be tough. What I'm trying to say is just be aware and be ready to protect your stuff. But you can still live a soft life. Best believe I pick it, but I also rest. I'm not going to sit here and put myself in harm's way. That's not gonna happen. So just gotta be smart about it, right? Sasha, you said 2 months. Dang, sorry to hear. Did you see how Gen Z is protesting all over the world? We have to fight for something. I saw a little bit of that, but I'm gonna check it out. Let's watch a video then, because I'm gonna watch the AI video first, and then let's watch the Gen Z protesting. I did hear about that. But I haven't seen a lot of content concerning it. I know the No Kings protest was recently, but yeah, I ain't see black people there. And I don't blame y'all. I wouldn't be there either. We have to choose different ways. I think now, like, it's the now is the time where we can be really, like, strategic and kind of think differently about how to do things. We have to start really sitting there and thinking about different ways to get things done in an effective way that doesn't involve you going out on the streets and potentially getting harassed, arrested, detained. Yeah, those days are done. We have social media platforms, so at least we can start using that and using other powerful methods and tools to get where we need to go. Yeah, we gotta think strategically now, because being outside in the elements, y'all, it gets to you. And the funny thing, let me tell y'all real quick before we start playing the video. We've been picketing for 2 months. I done told y'all that. We live in a small town. I wouldn't say it's a small town, but it's a smaller city compared to other bigger cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, all that stuff, right? Or Montreal. Now, how about we've been wearing picket signs? We've been wearing, like, we're outside. And it's interesting how many people didn't even know we were on strike. A lot of people didn't know we were on strike, y'all. A lot of people didn't know. They're like, oh, you guys are on strike? And I'm like, yeah, you see? So it's to the point now where you have to put you have to think of different ways. This is where social media plays a really good role, but then again, there is suppression. So there's that too. There's just other ways that you can probably get the point across. But it's just about awareness. And if people are unaware, people will be unaware until they start getting affected by it. But even then, like, everybody has their own stuff to deal with, right? So, yeah. And a lot of people are so out of touch, they can't even see what's really going on, right? They live in a bubble. That's why I called it the bubble. When you live in a bubble, it's hard for you to understand somebody else's plight. Some people. Other people, they have the, other people are more sensitive to the emotions of others. But there are a lot of people in our society who do not care, and they don't see it as a problem because it hasn't affected them yet. There you go. So this is where we have this kind of issue. It's really sad. And this is why our strike, I can say, for example, has been going for so long, because they don't see, like, the people at the top. They cannot understand what it's like to live, like, as a middle class person, or, someone who's living maybe paycheck to paycheck. They don't understand that. So for them dragging this out, they're not thinking about, hey, like, people are starving. People probably won't pay their rent. Like, we got to do something quickly. Like, let's figure this out. No, still standing off. But who's going to feel the after effects of it? All that money I done lost, I don't get back pay. I'm not getting back pay, y'all. As soon as I go back to work, it's back to business. No back pay for the time I lost. No back pay for the psychological, maybe some people have psychological like impact from this. Some people have gotten maced, pepper sprayed. One person got a bike pushed at them. That was in the beginning of the strike. One person passed away. Rest in peace. She was a sister. She passed away on the strike line. Another person, they were sick. They had a medical emergency. This all happened within the 2 months, y'all. They don't give a shit about that. They don't care. Because if they did, it would have ended already. That's my point. Let's continue. Lay, you said in America the protests stay far more peaceful from a police standpoint when we stay home. Yeah, it does. You could support from the house. Open your door, yeah, when you see them passing through. Don't put yourself in harm's way, y'all. Especially if you don't. If you are adjacent, don't. It's not gonna work out for you. It ain't gonna work out for you. I promise. They don't see you the same. Let's start this AI video though. Okay, let's get to it. The AI bubble. I think I've talked long enough. How long has it been? 41 minutes. We're right on time. Okay. Let's hear what I got this from CNBC. And the reason I use some news sources is because I want you guys to understand that this is not fake news. Like they would say fake news. This is not fake news, y'all. This is real news. Real news. So somebody researched this. Let's just put it that way. And then after that, we're gonna listen to like YouTubers or people in the field or whatever. Oh, I forgot Graham's video. 1 second, y'all. Let me go put Graham's video up. 1 quick second. I forgot that video. My bad. OpenAI. Okay. Here we go. All right. Let's watch Graham's video first, actually. Y'all know Graham Steffens. He's a huge YouTuber. So I like his content. I used to watch it a lot. Not so much these days. All right. We're going to watch Graham. Hi, Rayleigh. I hope I said your name right. Railani. Welcome to the Inner Circle. Welcome to the Inner Circle, sis. In case you guys don't know, members only. I will do a members only live probably next weekend. This weekend has been too busy for me. Whenever it's too busy, I just do one live. But I do a public live. But next weekend, I'll start back with the members only lives. And our case study series is Maisley, y'all. Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah. I got part 3 coming. Part 3 is going to come Monday or Tuesday. I just have to edit it. It's too long. That's going to be like at least, I'm trying to condense into 7 parts. But we'll see. It might be 8. Maybe 8. All right. Let's watch what Graham had to say.
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. And if you have any money in the market whatsoever, you need to hear this. Because despite the stock market breaking all-time highs, search volume for AI bubble has just broken a new record. Investors believe that the economy is now on borrowed time. And the billionaire Paul Tudor Jones says that this is now reminiscent of exactly what happened right before the 2001 dot-com crash. That's why we really have to talk about exactly what's happening, what could be in store for the future, and why some people could be in for a very rude awakening.
So I was there. The 2001 dot-com crash. I was a sophomore. Yeah, going into my sophomore year. Correct. So yeah, I remember that time. A lot of people lost their jobs in IT for years. And then the economy started going down. And then guess what happened? So first it started with that. And then 2008 happened. 2008, yeah. And then in case you guys, I know a lot of new people come and watch me. Welcome to the family. But, excuse me, if you're not an OG, I will share a little bit about what happened in 2008 to my family. My parents lost their house and restaurant. Both. And yes, there were bad financial decisions made as far as like, do I think that my dad should have opened a restaurant around that time? No, because the signs were there, but he couldn't see it. Because it looked like this, like right now. You still seeing people buying Costco groceries. Hell, when I go to Costco, I see people buying a whole bunch of groceries. I'm like, how is this possible? But then some people can't even afford a bag of bagels, right? So it was similar to 2008. If you guys have ever seen the movie The Big Short, I highly recommend you watch that movie. That movie kind of explained everything that was going on in 2008, where people were over leveraging on mortgages and they were giving out mortgages like candy. Didn't even check, like, you know, the house, like their credit, not credit, but like people couldn't afford the mortgages but still were able to get housing. I forgot what it was called, but anyway, the point is that my parents, like my parents bought their house in 1990, and then in 2008 lost it. It's gone. Restaurant gone, house gone, just like that. And they were part of the statistics of millions of people who lost their homes around that time. So again, and we, you know, they're there's a lot. I can't go into too much detail because I have to kind of be mindful about what I say. I might say it in the members only stream though. But what I will say though is it took years to get out of that. Years. Some people are still affected by that. And imagine if you lose something or you start back at square one, how much time it takes you to rebuild. And those years count and they matter, because the more time you lose income, the harder it is to catch up. That's something you got to keep in mind too, right? So this is why it's very important to be aware of the signs. If they're saying that it's similar to the 2001 bubble, you got to start listening. Because it probably is.
Because even though it's easy to think that stocks just keep going up higher and AI is the future, the reality is most people are not prepared if the tides were to eventually turn, when they start to see serious, life-changing losses in their account, where years of profits are wiped away in a matter of weeks. And that is what we have to talk about today, as well as what I believe to be the best strategy going forward, with just the facts. As soon as you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already, seriously, doing that helps the channel tremendously. And as a thank you for doing that, here's a picture of a turtle. So thank you so much, and also big thank you to the Gemini credit card for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. All right, now let's talk about the dreaded market bubble. Usually this occurs when enthusiasm, excitement, and money all combine at the exact same time.
Wait, let's go back. Hey Rose, how are you doing, sis? Okay, let's go back a little bit because he said something very important.
About the dreaded market bubble. Usually this occurs when enthusiasm, excitement, and money all combine at the exact same time to cause one sector to skyrocket in price. And really what we are seeing today is truly incredible. Like, just consider that OpenAI recently raised at a $500 billion valuation. They then commit $300 billion for Oracle Cloud Compute. Oracle skyrockets in price. Because Oracle runs on NVIDIA chips, NVIDIA demand soars. And so NVIDIA invests $100 billion back into OpenAI. But wait.
Y'all, they running a Ponzi scheme. Red flag. This is a Ponzi scheme, y'all. Look at this. Hold up. Let's go back. What is happening here? You know what this reminds me of? Y'all know Bernie Madoff? Yeah. Remember when the 2008 crisis happened? His whole scheme got uncovered. I remember before Bernie, there was Enron. I remember there was what's his name? Jeffrey Schilling. I think he was the head of Enron. People lost their pension and retirement off of that BS. It was an actual company. And then people were putting their money, pension money, hard-earned money into the pension fund. Gone, wiped out. Bernie Madoff. His fraud was uncovered. Let's see what year. Y'all got to get into this show called American Greed. That show is crazy. I love watching that show. I ain't gonna lie. Bernie Madoff. When was his fraud uncovered? Let's check. Here, he's even on the FBI case. The FBI website. That's how bad it was, y'all. It was really bad. The biggest financial crime, one of the biggest ones I think it is the biggest one in U.S. history, if I'm not mistaken. You see? Madoff. I'm not going to read everything, but just listen to this. Madoff. A financial investor whose skill and track record were so legendary that people begged to open accounts with his firm crashed hard when? In December 2008. After the truth about his investments and returns finally came out, Madoff was running what turned out to be the history's biggest Ponzi scheme. We've seen this happen before. Remember that guy, Sam Altman? Didn't he have some type of Ponzi scheme going on? Oh, no, that's not him. Sorry, wrong guy. The girl, the lady, the Elizabeth lady, Elizabeth Holmes. This lady right here. This lady right here, convicted of fraud. There was another one. Oh my goodness, I forgot her name. There was another one, y'all. But this looks like a Ponzi scheme. So the money goes here. Then it goes to NVIDIA, whatever. And then it goes right back to OpenAI. It's in a cycle. It goes in a circle, y'all. But what if the money stops? What happens? In a Ponzi scheme, so Bernie Madoff, this is how his Ponzi scheme started. So what he would do is get a few people at the bottom. Then after that, their returns, because he was promising people 11%, some egregious number. But you know, some people, they really trusted it. And what he did to make people believe it is that he would pick and choose people who he wanted to come into the investment, to make it seem like it was so exclusive. Like you can't get access, whatever. He's smart, actually. That was very smart. Hold on, what's his sign? When's his birthday? We need to know. April 29th, Mr. Taurus. Is he a Taurus? Hold up. I think he's a Taurus, y'all. Yes, he is. Oh, we gonna get into Tauruses soon. So, yeah. So, very intelligent, but using his money in the wrong way. So, yeah, he would use those, the people who came in at the bottom, use their money to fund the people, the newer people. But then eventually when 2008 happened, guess what? People couldn't invest anymore. So then this is when the scheme was uncovered. He started, shredding paperwork. Had people coming into the office shredding paperwork. You guys got to watch his story. I think there was a series on him on Netflix. He's crazy. Or was. I think he's gone. He passed away. All of this. And he didn't even have to, y'all. He was making money from before. He didn't have to. Greed. Y'all heard about the 7 deadly sins? Make sure that you got to be balanced, y'all. Greed. He didn't need to do it, but he did it. Now, let's circle back to these billionaires here. They have money. Do they really need to be doing this type of Ponzi scheme? No. Greed. The 7 deadly sins will hit you every time. If you don't know how to control these parts of your human nature, you're going to fail. I can guarantee it. Here, let's get to the 7 deadly sins. Hold up, where they at? Here, 7 deadly sins. Envy, gluttony, greed, lust, pride, sloth, you're lazy, and wrath, you're too angry. Red flag. This is the problem. Learn how to control those 7 lustful sins or whatever, the deadly sins. Learn how to control that. Greed. What is the reason? Look at this circling. Look at this circle. This reminds me of the Greece crash. Y'all remember when Greece filed for bankruptcy, I think it was? That's what they were doing. Getting money from this. Oh, let me buy. And then using that money. Ponzi. And then when the money stops flowing in, you're gone. Greed. Instead of stopping at one point and being like, okay, you know what? This is getting out of hand. We have to be responsible. Let's stop doing this circle of life, whatever the hell they're doing. Let's stop it right here. And then let's figure out how we can assess, how we can... No, they're going to keep going greedy. They see the money. Oh, yeah, and keep going. And then, boom, bankruptcy. Y'all want to see? Hold up. Oh, I'm going in right now. Hold up a second. It was the blood test lady, y'all. Here. This is my province debt, y'all. Here, y'all. This was just published in August. Here, total provincial debt reached 133.9 billion. Red flag. Where'd the money go? I'm still looking for a family doctor. Where did the money go? Greed. Lack of proper planning. Greed will hit you every time. Every single time. Stop being greedy, y'all. And that's not just with money. Food, relationships, everything. Learn how to control and balance those emotions. You have them. We all have them. I have it. Everybody has it. You got to control that monster.
$100 billion back into OpenAI. But wait, if that sounds like a circular infinite money glitch.
Girl, it went to people's pockets. Staying at this is how it goes. Let me tell y'all. They don't just take the money and put it in their pocket. No. They're going to live lavishly. You have a budget to go to a fancy hotel. Y'all got to remember, the job that I do, I see money coming in and out every day. Like I said, I don't give a damn. They could watch this. I don't give a fuck. I stopped caring. I don't care anymore. I'm going to live in my power and my truth. Taking my power back. I don't care. What I'm going to say right now is I saw money coming in and out, y'all. In and out. Even on a small scale. I was watching like, this much money. And you can't even pay us the 4% we're asking for 2 years, so 8% total. You got to be kidding me. Impossible. What was you doing with all that money? Renovating, getting fancy chairs, getting fancy building leases, having conferences. My sister, she works for another government too. I can't put her business out there. Well, she doesn't give a damn either. But that's her business to tell what government she works for. But what I will say is this. She recently did a conference. We added and tallied up the price of everything because she was responsible for planning everything. She's a coordinator, a planner, project planner. $20,000. Red flag. All for food and gallivanting, networking. That's where the money's going, y'all. Hotels, limos, flights. People are dying. Those people in the White House, you think that they're not staying at the fanciest hotel on your dime? Best believe they are. When they go to a city to do conferences, we have a work trip, where they gonna stay at? They not staying at the Holiday Inn. They not staying at the Holiday Inn. They at the Ritz-Carlton, y'all. Ritz-Carlton. They're not at the Holiday Inn like us. Because if you're working, let's say you a lower ranking employee in the government, they're gonna say, you gonna stay at the Holiday Inn. What you doing? Nothing. Staying at the Holiday Inn. Y'all remember that song? But then when it's the ADM or Canada, we have ministers. So I'm gonna use the equivalent. When it's like a governor, assistant deputy governor, whatever, the state secretary, whatever y'all got going on over there. Presidential secretary, where they staying at? On your dime. You think they paying for it? Please get out of here. They staying at the fanciest hotel, getting all the food. And guess what? They're going to get that money right back. It gets refunded, y'all. Just letting y'all know. When we go on work trips, we have to do the, you're going to send the money out. Like, okay, let's say you go and you spend money yourself. You work out of pocket. Like, you pay it out of pocket is what I meant to say. You're going to do a financial report. When you return, you're like, okay, I'm going to fill in my expenses. You're going to get that money back. A certain percentage back, but you're going to get it back. Guess who's paying for it? Y'all better wake up, man. Continuing.
It gets even weirder. OpenAI also owns 10% of AMD. Intel will be partnering with AMD as a customer, and the government owns 10% of Intel.
Ponzi scheme. Ponzi scheme. Scheming and scamming. Scheming and scamming.
Or basically, to dumb this down, it's kind of like Paul investing $100 in John, who invests $100 in Bob, who invests $100 in Paul. And that's where we get into the first problem.
Ponzi scheme. Continuing, Star That Fell, I like what you wrote. The U.S. is sending money to Argentina, building a useless ballroom, etc., etc. Why are we paying taxes for this stuff? That money should be invested back into the citizens. It won't be. They don't care. They want you to suffer because you're going to continue the plan. Capitalism, baby. This is what happens, y'all. We live in a system where you gotta have people at the bottom. That's it. For them to get richer, you have to be poor. Poorer, not just poor. Poorer. You got to be. Homeless shelters are Overcapacity. You can't even get room in a homeless shelter. Why? Because it's not just homeless people anymore, y'all. I'm talking about the traditional, like the archetype of a homeless person. You think of like a drugged out person or a person on the streets begging for change, and they didn't want to get their life or turn their life around. They didn't want to pick up their boots by the bootstraps. No, it's not those folks anymore. It's folks like you and I. People who have kids. They're the ones in the homeless shelter now. And then look at what's going on, doing this whole damn Ponzi scheme.
As of the time I'm making this video, tech now makes up more of the S&P 500 than at the peak of the 2001 dot-com bubble. And Nvidia, which has the largest weighting from any company in the world, trades at a price-to-earnings ratio of 57, which for reference means that investors are paying 57 times more money than what Nvidia earns, with the expectation that they can overpay now because earnings will be even higher in the future. And again, that's just the very beginning. We also have a metric called the Buffett indicator, which measures the total value of the stock market against the US GDP, and he's previously referred to it as the single best measure of where valuations stand at any given moment. With this gauge, it's said that a reading of 100% is said to be fair, at 70% stocks are a bargain price, and if it's near 200%, investors are playing with fire. And I think you get where I'm going with this. As you can see here, the Buffett indicator is trading at an above trend price of 217%, which places it at the highest level ever recorded in stock market history. Of course, in fairness, these days the Buffett indicator is said to be somewhat flawed because it doesn't take into account how low interest rates affect a company's valuation. But that isn't stopping some experts from warning people that these types of returns can't just continue indefinitely without a few bumps along the way.
Ponzi scheme. That's all I'm gonna keep saying, y'all. This is the quintessential definition of a Ponzi scheme. Trust and believe me. As somebody who watches those type of crime, I'm telling you, I watch financial crime channels like a mug. I know people who have gone to jail for some, financial stuff. Let's just put it that way. This is a Ponzi scheme. Trust and believe me. The only difference is it's billionaires doing it, so it looks legit. That's it. That's all, y'all. I'm gonna read a comment here. Zwe Thande. Sorry, and I can't read everyone's comments all the time, but I'm gonna see as I go along. You said, "Hey, Romy, none of the AIs are profitable currently, so the investors will be pulling their money out of these companies if they can't make it look like there will be future ROI." Yeah. .com bubble. It's the same thing that happened in the .com era. Patterns, y'all. Patterns. Pay attention to the patterns. They will never fool you. The patterns are there. Argentina has a lot of oil. So does Venezuela. So, South American countries. Canada too. Remember 51st state. That's why he was talking about all that stuff. Minerals. Why? Remember when Trump was talking about 51st state? We're going to lightly go through this. Lightly. Because y'all know YouTube likes to censor people or whatnot. We're going to lightly go through this, yo. Light butter on your toast. Remember when Trump was going rah-rah reptar and trying to get into Canada? Tied into this. This makes sense. If you need electricity and a lot of water to sustain an AI system, and the government has an investment in this, then of course they're going to peddle to countries that have those resources. Canada has an electricity grid that supplies electricity to the United States. We have a lot of minerals. A lot. Our country did not focus just solely on business. We focused more on agriculture, minerals, resources. While the U.S. was all greed, like I said, greed. U.S. focused on business, military. That's where most of your GDP goes, by the way. Yeah. And now when you need the resources to fund the technology, where you going to find it? You done went to all the other places. You done pillaged so many places. Where else you going to go? Where else you going to go? This is the problem. It's very irresponsible. Not planned properly at all. But yet these are the people we elect. That's what I'm saying. Out of touch. They don't see it the same way you do. They don't. And unfortunately, to become a politician now, and even from before, if you look at the history of the first presidents of the United States, they were all wealthy. Every single one of them, they're wealthy. Wealthy. Even the ones who come from poor backgrounds, they're all wealthy, y'all. You have to be wealthy in order to fund a campaign. I remember Joe Biden. Was it Joe Biden? I don't remember. Or Kamala, one of them. They had was it Trump? No, Trump had the most political donations in history. I don't remember. One of the politicians around that era, y'all. Sometimes my memory lapses and I'm just letting y'all know what I remember. It takes a lot of money to run for office. You can't be running for office with nothing. That's why you notice, like, when you have a politician getting into government and you elected that official, best believe that they didn't live the same life you did. More chances than not. And if they did, it's been a long time ago. They don't remember what it's like. Trust and believe me. They switch up like this. You need money to be a politician. You can't run a campaign, go to different cities, stay at different places with no money. It's impossible. And even if you got people to fund you, eventually, like I said, greed hits, man. You're going to get, like, listen, somebody, let's say Elon Musk comes to you in office. He's like, hey, man, like, I can give you billions of dollars. You just do what I tell you to do. And you're going to be good. You and your family will be safe. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Or if you don't follow us, then you're going to have to be careful. This is what it is, y'all. It's all House of Cards. Watch that show, y'all. It's literally all in the TVs and movies have depicted this for years. House of Cards. You're welcome. Continuing on. Francis Emmanuel, you said America has robbed Suriname dry from minerals, gold, wood, and now they found oil. I'm scared for the motherland. Yes, Caribbean in South America. Yeah, they done pillaged everywhere. Where else you got? If you finish extracting so many resources from so many places, where are you going to go next? There's only so many places you could go. Only so many places you could go. Or are you going to start threatening people? I'll leave it there. Let's continue.
And it's not just AI either. In terms of the entire S&P 500, the top 10 companies now make up more than 40% of the entire index, meaning even though you think you're diversifying, you're really investing a significant portion of your money into less than a dozen companies. So how does this compare to previous bubbles? Well, let's start with the dot-com crash, because this seems to be what investors are comparing today's market to the most. Like, for those unaware, this was caused by a frenzy of speculation for internet-related companies throughout the late 1990s because the internet was going to be the future, right? Well, the reality was that people were throwing money at companies that were incredibly unprofitable. And when that was unsustainable, they eventually collapsed, wiping out most of their value.
So, you know why people were doing that? Because they were listening to, you see how we have social media now? Oh, go invest in this. I remember, okay, I'm going to tell y'all my story. I was in the crypto era. I ain't going to lie to y'all. Okay, so in 2020, when we had all that crypto, that's when crypto started going off. You know, people had more time to be on the internet. People started researching Bitcoin, all that stuff. Let me give y'all a little short, brief story time. So there was this guy. There was this guy my sister met, right? No, nothing romantic. He was like he used to go to her, she used to work at a physical therapy clinic. And he used to go there to get serviced. And so she was the receptionist at the time. And they would chit chat. You know, people like to talk. They love to talk. And he's like, hey, what do you know about this? And they started talking about crypto, all that stuff. My sister got excited. Remember, Graham said excitement will get you every time. So then she got excited and they started talking about crypto, you know, stock market, all that stuff. So she literally talked to him all the time and they were just talking about business, whatever. Y'all remember when Forex came out? That was around that time. My sister got super excited and then she messaged me and she's like, hey, this guy wants to talk to us about investing in something. And, you know, my spidey senses went up. But of course, you know, around that time, it was 2020. I was like, yeah, you know what? This could be a good idea. And he started talking about some AI bot named Gemini. Was it Gemini? I don't remember. I still have the thing here. Hold on. It was Gemini. Not Google Gemini. It was something else. I think it was. Ooh, was it Gemini? I don't remember, y'all. It wasn't Google, though. It was another company. I'm going to find it. It started with a G. It might not even be Gemini. I'm going to find it. I have it. I still have it here. And then he was telling us to invest, like, oh, you got to invest more. Because at first I was like, no, I'm just going to do $100. Let's see how it flips. And then he was like, no, you got to invest more. So I was like, damn. I invested like $400 in it, and my sister invested more. Yo, scam. We got scammed, y'all. We got scammed. He disappeared. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. That man gone. Never saw him again. And it was on the stock market. It was like you had to get a coin wallet, and then we put our money into it. And then when you put your I don't remember, it was some site. I still have it here. I'm gonna try to find it. I'm gonna ask my sister about it. But yeah, we got scammed, yo. So my point is this is what's going on right now. People are telling people, oh, invest in AI. AI is the wave of the future. You gonna miss out. You gonna miss out. Look at here. Most of those companies failed. Red flag.
In fact, if you were in tech stocks at the time, you would have lost, on average, 78%, and it would have taken nearly 2 decades to recover. Now, even though 1999 does seem eerily similar to what we're seeing today, believe it or not, back then, the Nasdaq's price-to-earnings ratio was as high as 75, compared to today's of just 35. The largest tech stock of 2001 became Cisco, which peaked at a value of 472 times earnings, compared to NVIDIA's 57 times earnings. And even though today's numbers certainly feel like a bubble, compared to back then, it's really not as bad. However, even though NVIDIA isn't quite as stretched as Cisco was back in 2001, as it turns out, investors are now beginning to throw money back into companies that still don't make a profit. Case in point, this MIT study which found that 95% of companies saw no measurable ROI with AI. All of this...
What's going on here? No measurable ROI. This is concerning, y'all. Very much concerning. And remember, .com bubble happened. Then a few years later, it was the real estate bubble. Because that's what happened in 2008. It started with the housing and then just crashed. And then it went to financial. Everything just crashed. We had a similar situation. We're having it right now. COVID. 2020. And now 5 years later, this. Patterns.
Means that just like the early 2000s, we're starting to see a divergence between investment and productivity return, where investors believe that free money is coming back, and it's better to get in now than get left behind and have to pay more in the future, which is why a lot of investors are also comparing it to the Japanese everything bubble. This occurred throughout the late 1980s when the Japanese stock market more than tripled in just a few years. In fact, so much money was flowing into the stock market that their Shiller-Cape ratio reached around 80, which is nearly double the .com peak. Of course, though, when it collapsed, their stock market dropped about 80%. People hoarded onto their cash for fear of spending any money, and it took the entire country nearly 40 years just to recover. Now, even though our market is nowhere near as dramatic as Japan, and the United States is mainly just isolated to the tech sector, the same investor psychology is still swirling around today. Like many investors believe, a new economic era has arrived. There's overconfidence throughout AI.
No, wait, red flag. Hold up. Did I just see Jay-Z and Meek Mill? Hold up. Let's go back here. Run this back. Run this back, Graham. Hold on a second, brother. We gonna run this back. Hold up. What he said? Jay-Z, Meek Mill, and more help Reform raise $20 million at a star-studded gala. The Reform Casino Night and Gala, attended by Beyonce, Travis Scott, and many... Travis Scott, the same one who did Astro World? Say less. Hold up. Didn't he get denied for his casino? Oh, we gonna watch this. Hold up. Can I watch it? Yeah, hold up a second. What is this?
Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kevin Hart, and DJ Khaled joining some of the biggest names in entertainment, not for the Emmys, but for a cause very personal to rapper Meek Mill.
I never thought I would be coming like the face of
Meek.
Fundraiser for the Reform Alliance, a nonprofit focused on changing laws around probation and parole policies across the country.
I come from the other side of America. We always talk about it, but just climbing through poverty, climbing through being sent in and out of prison.
Mill, who ended up in prison for violating his probation in 2017, co-founded the charity with Jay-Z and billionaire Michael Rubin.
I just told Mike to come to court and see how the system actually operates, and he left with tears in his eyes.
He gets sent to prison for 2 to 4 years for not committing a crime, for popping a wheelie on a motorcycle. And, you know, he's...
The cause is good, but the people, you see, you gotta be careful. And he has all that money and couldn't get his hair plaited properly. Red flag. Get your hair done, Meek. What is going on here? Why your plaits look like that? Michael Rubin, y'all. Who is that? I know who he is, but what does he do? Hold on. These folks right here. When you start seeing celebrities doing all of these nonprofits, time's up. Wrap this right up. Wrap it up. That's when you know something ain't right. When you see celebrities, just like they was on YouTube during 2020, during COVID, you see them on TikTok, just like, hey, we're just like you guys. Hey, damn it. Good luck. What is this for? What's going on here, Meek? Who is this guy? CEO of Fanatics, the online sports merchandising retailer, trading cards. Okay, he does sports, iGaming. Okay, he's worth $9.6 billion. All right. You know, they always go to his parties. The white party in the Hamptons. I trust me, I see those parties. Diddy used to be all up in there too. Look at them right here. This is what's going on at them parties, y'all. Look who's involved. Look at Kim all in the mix. Jay-Z, all of them. When you start seeing them all gang up to do a nonprofit, good luck. Megan, I'm so sad. What is going on here, sis? But I get it, you know. You gotta get to the networking. Look at this. Look at this going on. Look at this. All white party. This is like the Diddy party, but on another scale. On the more upper echelon scale. Like the cleaner version. Look at this. Continuing.
Right, it broke my heart.
Loud calls for Mills' release coming from Rubin, Jay-Z, and New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft. The hashtag Free Meek Mill exploding on social media.
I'm seeing myself on the news, saying people march for me. There he is.
5 months later, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court.
This is what's going on. We're like, free Meek, free us. We need to be free. Red flag. Why are we not free? We need to be free. Free us. Free us, please. We need to be free. Talking about free Meek to do what? Exploit us some more through this nonprofit, because you know that's what's going to happen. You know that's what's going to happen. So let me get this straight. You're going to put all this money into this charity. Where the neighborhoods, what they look like in Philly. Let me know. What do the neighborhoods look like, Meek? All that money y'all fundraising, but the neighborhoods still look like a war zone. Red flag. What is going on here? What is happening? You gonna release those prisoners to go right back and terrorize the community. Why?
Court ordered Mills' immediate release. NBC News' Lester Holt was there.
And again, I'm not saying there aren't innocent people in jail. I want to make that very clear. There are some innocent people who do not need to be in jail. But we all know what time it is with these folks. They're not thinking about none of that. They're about to pocket that money. Watch and see. You see he investing. Oh, yeah, I'm going. None of it's going to go to the people it really needs to go to. Best believe it.
Responsibility. I got a lot of important people depending on me. And
Peter Thiel. Sis, hold up. Sasha, we gonna talk about him. Not today though, but we gonna talk about him. Best believe I need time to talk about him. I might talk about him tomorrow, but to be honest with you, I might have to put, unfortunately, this might have to be a Discord conversation or a membership conversation. You know what? We could do a Discord conversation. Discord will have to be, because if I talk about that man, we gotta do research. I'm not just gonna do a smooth takeover. Like, it's going to be like an actual conversation. And unfortunately, I will get censored if I do it. You know what? I might do it on Rumble. I do have Rumble. I might talk about it on Rumble. We'll see. I had to keep that behind the paywall. I'm not trying to get censored, unfortunately. But, he's a big one.
Public officials, I'm talking about them men that's depending on me going through the same thing I'm going through.
The Reform Alliance now focuses on nonviolent parole and probation violations like Mills, known as technical.
Hey sis, hey Evanescence, how are you?
Violations.
Hold on, let me say hi to a few people and we can continue. Hi Aliana, hi Evanescence, Rain, what's going on, friend? Everything, girl, everything. We talking about AI right now and what's about to go down with us. Yeah, I'm on Rumble. I have the link on my I'll put it in this video after. I have to add it to my description box. Follow me on Rumble. But I think, I don't know, I gotta figure out where I'm gonna do this live stream talking about Peter Thiel, because that's a big one right there. If I talk about him, it's gonna be some stuff I can't say on YouTube. I'll just have to say that.
So what is a technical violation? When you're first put on probation, the judge reads a long list of conditions.
She's the CEO? Hold up. Let's run. I can't run it back. Dang. This is the CEO, y'all. She's the CEO? This lady does not look like she understands what's really going on. And I'm not saying, again, I don't know her background. But like I said, when you're dealing with these type of situations, you got to be very sensitive to the people who you are trying to help. And like I said, out of touch. They don't understand what's really happening. Now, Meek, yes, he has a level of understanding. He experienced it while he was on the streets. But best believe Miss Ma'am right here, no. No, she does not get it. I can almost guarantee that. Hell, even Lotto's mom gets it. Y'all know Lotto the rapper? Her mama gets it. She be all in the hood. She gets it. Get us a bad baby or somebody. Alabama Barker wouldn't get it. This is Alabama Barker here. We need a bad baby. If you're going to get a white woman, get a bad baby or Mariah Lynn. Get one of them. They going to understand it real quick. But not this one right here. She don't get it. I can almost guarantee it.
That includes not being able to be around other people with a criminal record, having to make all of your meetings with your probation officer, having to find a job, having to pay a restitution oftentimes, having a curfew imposed upon you, not being able to leave your county or your jurisdiction where the crime was committed. So we hear some horrifying stories where all of these conditions are misconstrued.
How is this horrible? Red flag. You see, that's how I know she doesn't live there. Ma'am, pack it up. Wrap this right up. Talking about, listen, probation, yes, you committed a crime. If you are innocent, this does not apply to you. I'm talking about if you know you willingly and you committed a crime, yes, you got to do the time. Pay your probation. Restitution, yes, you're going to pay that money back. That happens. Curfew, yes, depending on the type of crime you did. I understand. What? Okay, we got to understand. What type of crime are we talking about? We talking about financial crime or violent crime? Violent crime, lock him up. Don't even let him get probation. Ever. But they're trying to get... What crime? Okay, we need to distinguish. I need to know what this alliance is for. Who y'all trying to free? That's my question. Not everybody deserves a second chance. That's another thing I have to say. Stop being so nice. This is what's getting us caught up. No, you're not going to get a second chance to go and fool me again and run up. Look at what happened to Kata Scott. That man was a menace demon. Stalking another. Y'all saw his face in the window like this. Monster. They let his ass out. And then you're telling us not to let people... Please, ma'am, sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know if my... Please. This is why she doesn't understand. She lives comfortable in her community. And guess who's going to get unalived more? You or her? Red flag. Get out of here. I'd rather see Beyonce on here. Come on now.
And are actually holding people back in their lives.
Something Reform CEO Jessica Jackson says they've spent the last 6 years going state by state to change.
We've actually passed 22 bills in 12 different states at this point.
3.7 million individuals are under community supervision in the U.S., according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, once including grandmother Marcela Soto.
Because of my probation and not able to travel out of state, I unfortunately missed the birth of my grandchild, which to this day I still live with regrets.
Soto telling us a new California law passed with support from the Reform Alliance allowed her to end her probation 3 years early.
A lot of happy tears. I felt free, like I could breathe. And
what did you do, sis? And this situation, that's what I'm talking about. This is okay. She's a grandmama now, and she probably was doing something for a man, so I get it. But I'm talking about the other hoodlums. I don't want them in the streets. No, keep them in there. But if it's for her, that's okay. But you see, this is how they're going to paint it out in the media. But on the background, who are they letting out free? Because guess what? Let me tell y'all something too. When you pass a law, just remember, it's not just the people that are supposed to benefit from it that are going to benefit. It's also the people who shouldn't benefit from it who are going to benefit. You got to be careful with that. So if they do all these 21 laws, guess what? Just like we have a good story here, we going to get a hoodlum like the one who terrorized and unalived Kata Scott. That's what we going to get. 2 for 1. How you going to filter that? You don't even pay your government workers enough to give a damn to care. And number 2, the judges are running a whole Ponzi scheme themselves. And then number 3, the worst one is that we don't have the resources. How are you going to control who gets access and not, who gets in and out? They're just going to look at the law and be like, oh, well, let him out. The purge affecting the food. And then now you got this bail reform, whatever going on. This is a problem, y'all. It's never going, I'm telling you, this is so unbalanced. Imbalanced. Like, there's no balance here. How are you going to have this law but not have enough government workers to oversee it? The police force, at least in Canada here, I don't know about in the U.S., maxed. Nurses are struggling. Everybody's struggling. And yet they're doing this. Who's going to watch those prisoners? Who's going to make sure that the people who are supposed to stay in jail, and people like her are supposed to take advantage of the system? Who's going to be the overwatcher for that? Come on now.
Part of my life back that I didn't have for those few years.
The Reform Alliance says 120,000 people are under federal supervision.
Almost 80% of the people who come home are put on federal supervision. Last year, we introduced a bipartisan bill that would create a pathway to people earning their way off of supervision. That's the Safer Supervision Act.
Where does President Donald Trump come into all of this?
Well, as you know, President Trump signed into law the First Step Act. First Step Act has been extremely successful. It's actually lowered the federal recidivism from 49% to about 9%. Of that, 5% is technical violations. We're hoping that he is going to see the need for the Safer Supervision Act and that he'll support it as well.
Reform star-studded gala at the Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City, New Jersey, raising $20 million for a cause Rubin says is overlooked in criminal justice.
So let me tell y'all something. They want to raise funds and they went to a casino. That doesn't make anybody's spidey senses tingle. Casino. Casino is one of the top places where criminal organizations like the mafia used to clean their money. You know, you get the dirty money, you clean it out in the casino, get your money, and then that's how you do it. So why have this gala or gala? I know some people say gala at the casino. Why? Why does Jay-Z want to build a casino? Remember, Jay-Z wanted to build one. Oh, we're going to see Jay-Z's casino soon. Just wait for it. Casino, y'all. Money laundering.
Justice reform.
I believe in following the law. And I also believe if people commit a crime, they should pay their appropriate time for that. But what you shouldn't have is an unfair system.
I mean, what does that feel like to have a friend like Michael?
I never had friends that put their life to the side that much that did that for me. So, you know, I honor people like that high in my life. If he didn't come to see me get sent to prison that day, it probably wouldn't be a reform.
Meek, I feel bad for him because he was a young kid in Philly. He don't know no better. That man does not care about you, Meek. He cares about what you can do for him. He's just using you. Best believe me. That's not a friend. And now look, you done did a blood oath to him. Now you got to get into business with him. That's why he let you out. That's it. Suge Knight and Tupac, same thing. Tupac was laid up in jail. When Suge Knight came, it's like, hey, you want to change your life? Come to death row. That's what's going on right here. You're very talented, Meek. You don't need to be up under this man. You can make your own billions. But look, there we go. He's using you. Using you to get to us, to get to the bag. Because he knew as a white man that he would not be able to come to the hood and be like, hey, you know, I'm going to start up this bail. Are y'all with me? No, we're going to be like, get the hell up out of here. But when it looks like you know people support you. They're gonna be like, hey, it's Meek, okay. Here we go.
Mission years in the making, but far from over.
Big
Chloe
bird.
Malas, NBC News.
All right, so they was at the casino. Let's see Jay-Z's casino bid, y'all, because he tried to get a casino recently. This is all tying together, and then we're going to get back to Graham's video. How much time do I have? Okay, I still got a few hours. And then we'll continue part 2 tomorrow if I don't get to the relationship bubble. Jay-Z casino. My bad. Here we go. I don't want to hear Joe Budden. No offense, but I want to hear news. I want to see the news. Where's the news? Not Tasha K. Was this in the news? Okay, it wasn't in the news. Okay, let me read an article. No, I'm not. Oh boy, I would hear Tasha K, but she gonna have me laughing too much. Here, okay, Vanity Fair. Good, Vanity Fair has an article here. Inside the war over Jay-Z's New York City casino. Interesting. Remember, Michael Rubin and all them, and Jay-Z's part of it. Part of this whole thing. Y'all saw him with the big dreads. They did the whole gala and raised money at the casino. Interesting. And then all of a sudden we have here, remember, this is from September 17, 2025, just last month. The rap legend recruited everyone from Alicia Keys to Al Sharpton. Red flag, Mr. NW. Al Sharpton, ain't he supposed to be a civil rights activist? Wasn't he marching with MLK? Or was that Jesse Jackson? Yeah, he was with them. Wasn't he there? Was he there? That's Jesse right there. That's not Al Sharpton, my bad. Was he with MLK? Or was that Jesse Jackson? I don't remember. But either way, he's a civil rights activist. Interesting. To Charlemagne the God, of course. All in the mix. Always in the mix. To land a $5.4 billion gambling palace in Times Square. Do we really need that? Y'all let me know. My New Yorkers, you're from New York. Do you guys need a gambling palace in Times Square? Let me know. Let me know what's going on in New York. Do you really need a casino in the middle of Times Square? Is that what your city needs right now? You got rats running all over the damn place. Them rats are big as hell. The rent prices are sky high. Takes you forever to get a good place to rent. Trust me, my brother used to live in New York, and I have family who live in the New York, New Jersey area. It's expensive to live in New York. New York is one of the most expensive states to live in the U.S. New York and California, to be exact. Miami, add Florida to it. Miami specifically. New York is expensive. New York City. Times Square. He putting a casino there. Who gonna be there? Why? Why do you need a casino in New York? What's going on here? Tens of billions of dollars, thousands of jobs, and quite possibly the fate of New York's most iconic industry and most awful tourist trap were all at stake. But the closing days of a years-long fight over whether to build a casino in Times Square seem to revolve around one man, Jay-Z. Of course it does. Of course. The NFL's not enough. His liquor line's not enough. Tidal was not enough. His other business ventures are not enough. Being a billionaire is not enough. Being married to Beyonce is not enough. Greed. And Solange I need Solange. Solange, if you're listening to this, I don't know if this will ever get to you. Please do a round 2 of the elevator and just knock him up a little. He needs some sense in his head. Greed. Why do we need a casino? Who's it going to benefit? Who's going to benefit from a casino being built in Times Square? You could see it over the summer when Al Sharpton headlined a rally just south of Times Square, iconic red steps. Say yes time in Times Square. Look at him being an activist for Jay-Z's casino while people are starving. Red flag. People are hungry right now. Need affordable housing. Food. People about to lose SNAP benefits soon. And here you go. Yes to the casino. Is it going to feed the people? Is this gonna house the millions of homeless people that are going to come soon if we have this bubble burst? Where y'all gonna stay at if they're gonna have this whole Times Square casino? Y'all can sleep in there? I done told y'all the homeless centers and shelters are over capacity. Everywhere. Where are you gonna stay at? In the cold? Where? Where are you gonna stay with your kids? Government's not gonna help you. And then look at this. These are the millionaires and all. You can't even put housing in the neighborhoods. That's what I said. Hype. Empty hype. Look at them getting excited for this nonsense. Times Square. Jay-Z. He shouted, You should see it last week at the Broadhurst Theater on 44th Street, the site of a final public hearing on the casino before do or die vote. For the first time, promised Mark Holiday, the CEO of the city's largest commercial real estate firm. Of course, he's in the mix. Everyone has a seat at the table with Jay-Z at the head. Of course, he thinks he's God. Greed. Bernie Madoff right here. That's the archetype of a greedy man, y'all. He's greedy. Greedy. Hove, through his entertainment firm Rock Nation, I forgot to add that there, poured hundreds of millions into a stake in the project, according to its CEO, Desiree Perez. Her name sounds very familiar. I've been seeing her name all in the mix somewhere else. I remember the whole Megan Thee Stallion trial or whatever. Her name was everywhere. But anyways, we gonna get to that another time. Then Rock Nation joined Holiday's company SL Green and Caesars Entertainment in spending millions and millions more. Why? More promoting it to sometimes very lawmakers. Multiple. Okay, wait. This is very important, y'all. In spending millions and millions more, promoting it to sometimes wary lawmakers. People, if you're in government, these are people we work for. These are people you elected. Municipal bureaucrats. Public servants? Is that what you're talking about here? And the public at large. Yeah, us. People like us. The goal, secure one of 3 licenses for casinos in the New York City area. Why? We have to ask ourselves, why? What is the reason? On Wednesday, everything fell apart. Thank God. Before a bid could even be considered by the state's regulators. This is why it's important to be educated on the regulations and bylaws. Because a lot of people on the internet, they just be talking yik yak. I'm just being honest with you. And this is how I know when people do not have a fundamental understanding of how state laws work. When people talk about big pharma taking all your meds, and I'm like, yeah, but somebody has to regulate it. I hope you know that. It's in the laws, y'all. Laws. Everything is by law. Where my Bible at? Damn it. I left it in there. Bible, book of laws. Our system, laws. Our system operates with laws and parameters. That's why that lady, the madam, y'all call her the madam CEO. That's why she had to go and fill out the paperwork. Everything is paperwork. It's in the laws, y'all. That's why she had to go and make laws to pass that. That's why they have to go through the laws and regulations to do that. You cannot just open up whatever you want. It's impossible. Somebody has to clear it. Y'all remember when Takeoff, rest in peace, he passed away. He went to Houston. They had to check in with Jay Prince and them grimy ass men. This is the check-in right here. They're like, oh, Jay-Z, you're a billionaire, but guess what? We have more money than you. We use taxpayer dollars. We're the big honcho here. If you want to look at mafioso type of energy, the government has more money than all of them. People's taxes and tax dollars. Billions. You're going to have to check in with us. Continuing. It had to capture 4 of 6 votes from a community advisory committee. The people at the HOA. I'm going to make an equivalence to that. That's the equivalence of this. You can't do nothing in your place, even if you own it, without the HOA getting involved. Your condo committee, your board members, board, anything that has a board, hospitals, board. Everywhere, board. Even for him to build this casino, he got to go through a lot of red tape, y'all. He's just a black man, y'all trying to hold him down. That may be part of it, but trust and believe me, that's not all of it. He got to follow the laws of the land. Yes, people can exploit the law. Don't get me wrong. They will benefit from it, but guess what? There's a law in place. Good and bad. So good people can benefit from it, but so can evil people. Here we go. He trying to build a casino. The same person who's going to try to build affordable housing has to go through the same process as Jay-Z's trying to go to build a casino. But guess who's going to get accepted and approved? That's what I'm talking about. And they don't look like me and you. Trust me, them boards are full of people who do not look like you and I if you are a minority. If you're not, then they look like you. I hope you're an ally and you can watch the stream. It's for everybody. Educational purposes, by the way. These are the people that control everything, y'all. Continuing. That vote finally, all appointed by local politicians. I forgot that part. So they had to get votes. 4 of 6 votes. That's the first requirement. Second, they had to get the community advisory committee to agree to it. And third, it was all appointed by local officials. Government. So for those of you who live in free countries like US, Canada, and we are in the Western world and we look down, some people look down at other countries like, your lawmakers, this is so like, they're all like, what do we call it? Corrupt. Corruption looks different in different forms, but trust and believe me, corruption is corruption no matter what. The vote finally happened after years of buildup, and the committee decisively rejected the bid. 4-2 against Jay-Z's big play in Times Square, despite support from the mayor and the governor of New York. The Times Square casino is dead. Who is the mayor of New York? And who's the governor? Why are they promoting a casino? This man right here? Mamdani? Was it Eric Adams or him? Because he just got elected. Hold up. Which mayor? Which mayor? We gonna give Mamdani benefit of the doubt. Who was the one? Who's the mayor? And who's the governor? Oh, this woman right here. Here we go. She supported this shit. She supported this, y'all. Her. Interesting. Her and either Mamdani or Eric Adams. One of them. And wasn't Eric Adams packed up out of here for some fraud stuff? Lines up. It's a massive loss for all the partners in the Times Square casino project, including its most famous one. Who's up from nothing? Keep close to the street story was at the center of the closing argument. We from these neighborhoods, Jay-Z told the advisory committee members as they sat across a conference table over the summer. Red flag. You're from the neighborhood and you think building a casino is going to help your neighborhood? You liar. You liar. That's not going to, you know damn well that's not going to help nobody. It's just going to feed more people into addiction. Gambling is an addiction, y'all. Some people, yes, they can be responsible gamblers, but a lot of people, best believe, there are a lot of gambling addicts out there. Drugs. This is going to fuel more of this war, street crime. What he's trying to do is clean up street crime. So instead of you going to sell crack on the streets, you're going to come to his casino. Organized crime. It's not going to be no petty stuff like in the New York, Brooklyn streets where he's from. No, he's trying to make it organized instead. What benefit would it have done for young black men and women in New York? What benefit? I want to hear it. Please let me know. We hear a lot of talk about community. We are the community. No, you're not the community, Jay-Z, because for you to do this to the community lets me know you are not of the community. My opinion. You have great music. I love your songs. Actually, I love your music. I think you're a phenomenal rapper. You have a lot of business acumen. I respect the hustle, how you built yourself from Rockefeller to Rock Nation. That's very admirable. But I can also hold you accountable and say that this is not the move, sir. You're not thinking of the people, you're thinking of yourself. Greed. Greed. We're not saying give it to us because we happen to be Black, Hispanic, and female, Perez tells me right before the big vote. No, that's not what we're saying. Of course not. But we're saying don't ignore who we are, what we stand for, where we come from, where we've been, everything we've accomplished. Please don't ignore that. So, Desiree, sis. So here, Black, Hispanic, female. So she's already playing into the DEI. Like, oh yeah, like, you know, don't look at our race. Good. Okay, we're not going to look at that. Don't ignore who we are. Okay, who are you? Who are you, sis? Who is you? What's going on here? What we stand for. What do you stand for? Because you want to build a casino in Times Square. So what do you stand for? Where we come from? Okay, you might be from the hood or wherever. That's great. Yes, you can understand it from that level of experience. But if you really cared about the people that are there right now, you would never build a casino in Times Square. That's not going to benefit them at all. One, it's in Times Square. Times Square is one of the biggest tourist centers in America. Where's that money gonna go once it goes in the casino? Best believe it's not going to touch the neighborhoods that you come from. No, it's not. And you know that. Stop the cap. Empty hype. Continuing. And as for the forces opposing the casino, let's hear why they didn't vote for it. Let's hear. Maybe somebody got some damn sense. The theater types who worry that tourists might gamble away their Broadway money, or that a casino might poison Broadway's delicate ecosystem. So notice, those people who were on the board, best believe they were all people who look nothing like me. Let's just put it that way. I can guarantee that. And they're looking at it from another perspective, because they're like, you want to open up your casino in Times Square where our people go to travel and have a good time and spend money? I think not. We're not going to destroy our neighborhood. You better go take that shit to Brooklyn. That's what they said. Take it to Harlem, Brooklyn. Go build the casino over there. Why you want to build it in our area? We built this area brick by brick. We want to protect it. That's what they're saying. People go to New York for Broadway. We want our folks to enjoy New York. We don't want you to build a casino and any association you have to your rap music to come into and infiltrate Times Square. We don't want that. We've given you your area. Stay over there. Go destroy your neighborhoods. You're not going to destroy ours. Tribeca, New York, Central Park. I mean, not New York, Tribeca, Central Park. You ain't going to destroy our area in Times Square. They going to have too much proximity to that. You got to take your ass back to the hood. That's practically what they said. Literally. Create a traffic Armageddon in Midtown. Yeah. Well, to borrow a phrase from a different rapper, Not Like Us. Are they talking about Kendrick? Jay-Z's allies argue that opponents weren't just a bunch of finger-wagging hall monitors standing in the way of thousands of black and brown people getting casino jobs. Casino jobs, really? That's what we need in this economy, Jay-Z? You couldn't have thought of something better? Casino jobs. Okay, so let's say he wants to give people casino jobs. And no shade to people who work at the casino. I'm sure you guys make good money. But what I'm trying to say is, like, where's the future in this is what I'm saying. How is this going to help the community as a collective? Being and working at a casino, can you break out of poverty? Can you break out of poverty from that? And it's going to, again, some people, they can handle touching money all day. Others can't. So what jobs are we talking about? And also, it's in Times Square. Do a lot of black people live in Times Square? Last time I checked, no. It's too expensive. So who is really going to benefit from the jobs? Not people who look like me. And even if we did, where's the longevity in this? What's the end game? How is this going to propel the community you come from to get out of its poverty trap? Jay-Z, do you have an answer? Where's the business? I need to see the business plan. Red flag. This sounds like a mess. They were, of course, Sharpton is here. They were, according to Sharpton, oligarchs. It was an ironic choice of words given Jay-Z's billionaire status. So he's turning it into a black and white issue. No, it's not oligarchs. They don't want you messing up their damn city. That's all that is. Oh, Lord, there's more. But the opposition had its own case to make. And that case ultimately prevailed. Casinos weren't just dangerous to the theater community, they argued. They rarely bring the revenue they promise. One of the casinos in upstate New York, for instance, is pursuing a deal with the county right now worth up to $585 million to stay afloat. Yeah, it's a waste of money. So basically they're saying, look, you have pipe dreams as a billionaire to be greedy and exploit people. But guess what? This is the reality. And they already know. That's what I'm saying. They're protecting their folks. Trust and believe me. If he had said he wanted to build this in Brooklyn, I promise you it would have been built already. I can guarantee that. But it's because he wants to do it in a wealthy area. They're like, nah, this is not going to benefit our wealth. This is a money trap. It's like putting money into, it's a bottomless pit. Why would we waste money? See, Jay-Z, you're a new billionaire. The people who've been in New York, they've been millionaires and billionaires for centuries. Old money will always trump new money. They understand. That's why they can keep those billions running. That's why. They don't come up with the plans to do casino stuff. They don't do that. And at least if it's going to be a casino, it'll be one that's worth something, like the one in Vegas. The ones in Vegas, they're making money every day. But the one Jay-Z's trying to build, so lots of risk with little reward. What's more, casinos tend to bleed money from the sorts of communities Jay-Z says he represents. Interesting. Promises to the contrary were empty and even harmful to the community, kind of like the ones coming from the former casino owner who's now in the White House. They talking about Trump, y'all. Red flag. He did have a casino. Didn't he have one in Atlantic City? Lord. And, he did. Where was it? It was Atlantic City. Closed. Closed. Who lives in Atlantic City, y'all? %31 black people, y'all. Red flag. It's all black people. Majority black people. That's where Trump decided to build his casino. He didn't even build it in Times Square. That should tell you something. That should tell everyone something. Always giving us the chicken shops. Not again, no shade. Because yes, it gives people a sense of ownership to own the chicken shop. But it's destroying the community. High blood pressure, diabetes, overweight, health issues galore. Chicken shop, churches, liquor stores, casinos. Continuing. And in New York City, that man is hated more than Jay-Z is loved. They talking about Donald Trump. Okay. This is a long article, y'all. I got to finish reading. And then we're going to get back to the AI bubble. My goodness. Jay-Z's interest in a casino goes back more than 15 years. So he's been working on this forever. This is his pipe dream. At the time, New York State was looking to build a slot parlor near the Decrepit. Okay. Decrepit. Y'all know how to pronounce these words. Decrepit Aqueduct horse racing track. Gambling, more gambling. One of the bidders tapped Jay-Z for informal marketing and community advice. That bidder eventually won, beating out companies like SL Green. But after that deal collapsed, Resorts World, a subsidiary of a Malaysian firm, was given the Aqueduct contract instead. Today, the depressing slot parlor not far from JFK Airport is the most lucrative gambling hall in America outside of Las Vegas, bringing in nearly $1 billion in annual gaming revenue. So he's mad he didn't get in on that deal. That's all that is. This is him just trying to make a deal now. He's been trying to get into it. Jay-Z and Roc Nation continue to explore casino deals. Then in 2022, SL Green chief Mark Holiday was chatting with Jay-Z courtside of Brooklyn Nets game. Maybe they discussed they could try together to get into an even higher stakes contest for one of the licenses for a full-blown casino in or around the city. Holiday and Perez were both honorees at a local charity dinner. A few days later, they started ironing out the deals. Roc Nation announced its involvement in the Times Square casino bid at the end of that year. Not long after, the Broadway League, which represents theater owners and producers, began mobilizing support against it. So, y'all, here we go. So, theater owners and producers. Y'all want to know what they look like? Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Oh. Hold up. Where the owners? Where the producers? Here we go. We can already assume they do not look like us. Or people that look like me. I should say that because I don't know who's watching. Hello, welcome. Oh, Lord. So they were against it. And they obviously have a bigger lobby. They have more power than he does because they shut that right down. What unfolded was a miniature political campaign. Of course it did. Because whenever you need to get something done, where do you go? You go to the politicians and the public. Similar to what was happening at almost a dozen different sites. On one side, the promise of more work and the buzz that comes with billions in economic activity. Hype. This sounds just like the AI bubble, y'all. It's all related. It's all connected. Just in different forms. Hype. They will always get you with hype. Hype. Don't get too excited, y'all. I know excitement is so, like, sometimes you get excited and you're like, oh my God, this is happening. No. Take time to critically analyze what's going on. Be like, hold up. Yeah, it's going to bring more jobs, but to what extent? What is the what is the end game of this? Who is it going to benefit? And at what expense? Don't get caught by the hype, y'all. Hype will get you every time. Because behind hype, there's always a greedy person. Whenever people come to you, oh yeah, they didn't sign up for this, sign up. Yeah, greed. Always going to benefit that person. And then they're going to hype it up and make you excited about it. On the other, fears that a casino would leech more from the neighborhood than it would add. Yeah, and it's white folks living there, so they like, we'll be damned. Every casino bidder promised hundreds of millions in improvements to the community around them. Each casino bid faced opponents who noted those payments were a rounding error compared to the money to be made. The ultimate goal for those campaigns was to persuade those 6 people on the community advisory committee to vote their way. Okay, oh Lord, this is a long article, y'all. I'm not going to. Okay, let's read this one here. Early on, the Times Square group approached State Senator Liz Krueger. Okay, she's a politician, y'all. She may have been a diehard gambling opponent. Okay, so she was against it. Let's hear why. I voted against bingo in church basements, she once told me. But she controlled one of the 6 votes on the Times Square CAC, so she has some type of power. In a Zoom meeting, she said the casino team asked her if she wanted to meet Jay-Z. She said, why? Exactly. Why? Who are you? I don't like his music particularly, she recalled saying. She like, look, I don't care about none of that rap stuff you got going on. I live in the real world. I don't live where you live at. They're like, you don't want to meet Jay-Z? Well, you know, who's he? Who? Wait, well, you know who he's married to. Okay, like that's supposed to make her change her mind? Okay. She didn't meet Beyonce, nor did she get together with Mr. Carter, not even when Jay-Z went up to the state capitol in Albany this May. But the Times Square casino crew used other ways to make their plan more convincing. Let's stop it right here. I'm going to make a point, y'all. And this is if you have been around a lot of white people or you have worked around them. And I'm not saying this I'm just calling them white because that's their race, right? Just to make the differentiation. White culture does not value the same things that black culture does. So, for example, a Jay-Z and a Beyonce being celebrities is going to put stars in people's eyes in our culture. But in the white folks' culture, they don't give a damn. They don't care. Because they have many a Jay-Z and Beyonce's in their community. They probably have way more Jay-Z's, more wealth than Jay-Z and Beyonce. They have people who are in higher positions. So they don't care. So this is why when they say you didn't even want to meet with him, she's like, for what? Who is he? I don't give a damn. This is not something that's going to sway or move them. Power dynamics are different. So hype will work for us because we're not used to seeing people like us in those type of places. But for white folks, best believe they don't give a damn. All the presidents look like them. The institutions of schools, the Ivy Leagues, look like them. Everyone in power in this country, the highest positions of power, look like them. So what's a Jay-Z going to do for you? She doesn't give a damn. She's met people who have more power and more influence than him. He's just a rapper to her. She's like, who's that? Okay. And I think we have to start getting to that point, y'all, because we are too... Y'all saw how people like, free Meek, free Meek. We have to stop doing that, y'all. She's looking at him like he's any other person. Matter of fact, she probably looking at him like, who are you, Negro? I'll be honest. Who are you? You just got here. We been here. Welcome. But I don't need to see you. Why? That's what I'm talking about. So he thought he could do the same thing that he does in our community. And I think he's finding out and realizing in real time that it's not going to work. It's not. It's not. And then they look at them trying to throw in Beyonce. Love Beyonce, but I'm not like, I've stopped listening to Beyonce since her Countdown album. The one of 4? Lemonade. Lemonade was the last album I listened to, y'all. I'm being honest. I don't listen to Beyonce like that. Them white folks, they probably listen to, even if they listen to her, they're like, okay, she got music, and then what? What's that supposed to do? You know Beyonce, okay, and I know way more higher people. So, they don't care. Continuing. They recruited former NYPD commissioner, so they got the cops involved. Look, they got government involved. My goodness, he went on a whole tour, y'all. Bill Bratton, who came up with a $78 million plan to secure the neighborhood with drones and cameras and a private security force. So hold up. They went, like, he really, who was in charge of this project? You need to get fired. Y'all know I have a PMP, like I'm about to get my PMP. I have a graduate certificate in, I have a graduate certificate in project management. The planning here was not good. They should have hired somebody outside of his camp. But again, the bubble. When you live in the bubble, everything makes sense. Yeah. Nobody could have been like, brother, this is a bad idea. Don't do it in Times Square. It's not going to work. Again, ego and greed. That's all I could think. So they then got the New York City Commissioner, NYPD Commissioner, to put in $78 million to secure the neighborhood with drones, cameras, and privacy. Y'all want to know what's going on in New York right now? People can literally, like on the MTA, like in the MTA, I think that's what, yeah, MTA. People can jump the fare. They usually jump the turnstile that goes to the fare. Some people don't pay at all. People walk in the MTA system every day and do not pay a dime. And y'all think y'all could protect people with drones and camera and private security force? How you gonna pay them every day? And then the people you hire, you think they really gonna care? They might have their friends. Hey, yo, Jay-Z got a casino. Hey, run up in there. They're gonna be the first ones to rob you blind. Just like the people who went to the Louvre the other day, showed up as construction workers. You think they're not thinking they want to get the money too? They're not gonna do an inside job? Did y'all not watch Ocean's 11? Who is part of this planning? You really think that you're going to hire the poor people, because that's who he wants to hire, the black and brown people. And I'm not saying we're thieves. What I'm trying to say, though, is that some people don't have that mindset, y'all. They're going to run up in there. They'll be like, oh, yeah, you see all that money? Every day they're seeing money being counted. And then they have to go back to the projects. You think they're not going to want to grab that money and make a better situation and better life for themselves? You really think that, Jay-Z? You think they're going to be loyal to you and your wife when you're of the 1%? They're working for you loyally. counting money every day, and then they can't even pay for rent. You think they're going to be loyal to your ass? Red flag, you're stupid. I'm sorry to say that. This is a dumb plan. It's dumb. No insight, no forethought, no planning. Just yapping. And you got a whole bunch of yes men and women around you. And this is why you failed. Wasted money, y'all. He wasted millions and billions of his dollars to do nonsense. And y'all want to know how he's going to make it up? We're going to get back to that Reform Alliance. That's how he's going to make up that money. Continuing. They pledged to buy tens of millions of dollars worth of theater tickets to boost the Broadway economy and pour cash into local charities. All talk. Fake promises. Yeah, they're going to promise. They promised me. Then they promised some of y'all, if you're African American, you have African American ancestry, they promised you 40 acres. Was it 40 acres? 30 acres? 30 acres, 40 acres, whichever one, and a mule. They promised y'all that. Didn't Kendrick talk about it? Then they promised us, if you're from the Caribbean, my parents, Haiti, we had to pay back France. Where's the development? They had, after the Haiti earthquake, the earthquake in Haiti. Sorry, y'all. My throat is actually really dry right now. But I'm going to keep talking. After the earthquake in Haiti, they promised that they were going to build industries in Haiti. Where are they now? Got a whole plaza, no employees. They were talking about they're going to build houses in Haiti, rebuild houses. Red Cross. Y'all saw that scandal? They only donated like a few dollars. Didn't even build no damn house. All these promises, false. Hype. We going to do this, we going to do that. Where my family doctor at? Yeah. Promises don't